Hey guys, I just got off the Zoom thing with you, and I wanted to go over this or some of this work. I think I was making this more difficult than it needed to be, and I apologize. Let's look at some of these problems. Let's do. You had to do this part up here, the 8 through 15. Down here, I'm going to do some of these. Look, the first part here is they just want you to state what the x-intercept is and the y-intercept. That means they just want me to tell them where it touches the line. Okay, so on number 17A, so I'm looking at line A, okay, which is right here. Okay, I want to know where it touches this X line. Okay, you see that here is the X line. All right, well, where does it touch the X line? Well, it touches right there. Okay, well, what point is that? Okay, if I start, you always start at the origin, okay, which is where that 0 is, that stands for origin, that's in the center. So I'm going to go over positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I stop there. So that's 5, 0. Okay, it touches right there at 5. All right, and then if I want to see where does it touch this Y line, okay, I'm not gonna go left or right. Okay, so that means I'm gonna have 0 for my X, and I'm gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be positive 5, negative 5. Okay, that would be where my, see right here, it'd be positive 5, negative 5. The x-intercept would be 5, and the y-intercept would be negative 5. All right, let's look at B here. This is the B line. Okay, I want to know where does it touch the X line and where does it touch the Y line. Okay, so if I'm looking at line B, okay, it touches at right that point right there. Well, what point is that? I'm going to go over positive 1 and 0. So my x-intercept is 1. Okay. All right. Then if I want to find out where it touches this Y line right here, okay, here's my B line. It touches right there. Okay. So what point is that? I'm not going to go left or right. I'm going to go down 1, 2. Okay. So this would be, to find out where my B line is right here. That would be 1, and that would be my x-intercept is 1, and my y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, if you're looking at here, 1, negative 2. All right, here let's look at 19C. All right, I'm looking at this line right here, this blue line right there. All right, so I want to know, where does it touch my X line? Where does it touch my Y line? Well, if I always start at the origin, so it touches right there. Okay, so I'm going to go over negative 1, negative 2. So my x-intercept for line C is negative 2. My y-intercept, okay, I'm still looking at this right here, so it touches right there. So that would be, I'm not going to go left or right. I'm going to go down, so that would be negative 1. So it would be my x-intercept for letter C is negative 2 and negative 1. Okay, because it touches right here at negative 2, and then it touches at negative 1, my Y line. Okay, does that make sense? Now, that is how you would find the x-intercept and the y-intercept for each of the lines. That's what they're asking you to do here for the number 8 and number 9. You're just finding where it touches the line. Now, down here, okay, use the x-intercept and y-intercept to graph each equation. So what you're going to do here, this is where you're going to use your formula, okay, which is going to be y equals mx plus b. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, here, let's look at 23. All right, so this is the formula, equals x minus 2. Okay, so this is where you're always going to, you have to do two different equations. Okay, so I'm going to copy this twice because I'm going to be working the problem twice. On one side, I'm going to have my I'm going to have my x is equal to 0, and then I'm going to have my y is equal to 0. Okay, and then I'm going to solve for the opposite number. So right here, if I let y equal 0, okay, what I'm going to do here is I want to get this 2 on the other side. So if this is a negative 2, I'm going to add 2, add 2. That's going to cancel out. So I'm going to be left with x is equal to 2. So over here when I am, my x-intercept is going to be a positive 2. Then over here, I'm going to let my x be equal to 0 minus 2. So y is equal to negative 2. So my y-intercept is negative 2. So x is positive 2, y is negative 2. See? Here we go. All right, so here, let's look at another one here. Let's look at, here, let's do a hard one. Let's look at 27. I say a hard one. It just has harder numbers. All right, so 27, we've got y equals 3x plus 4. All right, so now remember I told you we're going to write this problem down twice because we're going to solve it twice because we got to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So we'll have y is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Okay, so on this side I'm going to do y is equal to 0, so I'm going to put 0 equals 3x plus 4. All right, so I'm going to, if this is a positive 4, I'm going to subtract 4. That's going to cancel out. So I've got negative 4 on this side. Now, they are multiplying by 3. I'm going to divide by 3. That's going to cancel out. So I'm going to have x is equal to negative 4 over 3. Okay? See, I've got negative 4 over 3. Now, over here, I'm going to, we're going to let x equal 0. So I'm going to have y is equal to 3 over 0 plus 4. Anything times 0 is 0 plus 4. Y is equal to 4. So my y-intercept is 4. So my x is negative 4 over 3, and my y is 4. Okay? And that's what you're doing for these problems right here. Okay, now I've shown this to you so you can, so you'll know the answers that you should get. Now, let me tell you this. They are asking you to graph these equations. Okay, so here, let me see. Where's my paper? I had a piece of, hold up. I must have eaten it. Okay, well, here, we can do this right here. All right, look, so if I just graph this first problem that I did right here, I could just use a T-grid, and this is going to touch the line at, let's see, this is my Y line and my X line, so I'm going to come over positive 1, positive 2, right there, and then Y is negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, right there. Okay, so that would be my line. You don't have to have graph paper to do that. All right, now right here, if I'm graphing this one, okay, so this right here, to make it easier, just for graphing purposes, if I change this from an improper fraction to a mixed number, that would be 1 1/3. Okay, it's still negative. So if I came over, let's see, this is going to be negative 1, negative 2. That's going to be a little bit past my, that's going to be a little bit past my 1 line. And then y is 4. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I will just connect those. Now, you can use a ruler if you want to. This is kind of hard for me to do video and writing with the other hand, but you get the idea. Okay, so hopefully this helps explain this to you guys a little more. I'm sorry that it's so confusing. This is really hard to teach like this, but if you have any questions, just holler at me. Thank you.